My father looked at 20 military officers and said, "My daughter's just a civilian. She wouldn't understand." 3 minutes later, those same officers were standing at attention. For me. And what you're about to hear is insane, because first, you'll see what happened when I dropped my clearance level in front of his entire unit. Then, the moment a base commander walked in and treated me like I was his boss. And finally, the phone call that made my father's face go completely white. But here's the part that's absolutely crazy. The reason I had that clearance? It's connected to something my dad did 20 years ago, something he thought was classified, something he thought nobody would ever know about. And when he finds out I know, everything changes. Let me take you back to where this really started. My name's Sarah Hayes. I'm 28. And I need you to understand who my father is. Colonel Richard Hayes, retired Air Force, call sign, Reaper. 26 years of service, F-16 pilot, 2 combat tours, Bronze Star with Valor, the guy who literally has a picture with 3 different presidents in his office. Military isn't just what he did, it's who he is. His socks are organized by color. He still does morning PT at 0500. He calls dinner evening chow. And me? I was the failure. I didn't go to the Air Force Academy like he wanted, didn't join ROTC, didn't enlist. I went to a state school, studied computer science, got a job at some tech company doing computer stuff. Every family gathering, same story. Sarah does at work, fixes computers or something, nothing special. He'd say it right in front of me, like I wasn't even there. At my cousin's wedding, someone asked what I did, and before I could answer, Dad jumped in. "She works with computers, not really my area. Now let me tell you about this operation we ran in." And he'd be off. War stories, glory days. I'd just disappear. Here's what killed me. I wanted to tell him. I wanted to say, "Dad, I'm not fixing printers. I'm doing something that matters." But I couldn't. Because what I actually do? Top secret sensitive compartmented information, full scope polygraph, special access programs. I work for US Cyber Command, not defense. Offense. The operations I run? They'll be classified until 2065. I've sat in rooms with 3-letter agencies planning things that would make international news if they ever leaked. But here's the thing that makes this story really crazy. The project I work on? It was started because of an intelligence failure in 2003. An operation that went wrong. An operation my father was part of. But I'm getting ahead of myself. So last month, Dad invites me to his big retirement ceremony reunion, held at Nellis Air Force Base. All his old squadron buddies, active duty officers. Big deal. I almost said no. But Mom called me crying, "Please, Sarah, he's getting older. Just come, be there for him." So I flew to Vegas, rented a car, showed up in jeans and a blazer, civilian clothes. Already I'm getting looks in the parking lot. Security checks my ID at the gate, takes forever. I can see the guy radioing someone, finally waves me through with this weird expression. I walk into the officers' club, 50 people. Uniforms everywhere, medals, ribbons, that specific smell of military facility, floor polish and instant coffee. Dad sees me. His face does this thing, like disappointment mixed with obligation. "Sarah, you made it." Not, "I'm glad you're here." Not, "Thanks for coming." Just, "You made it." He introduces me to his old crew. "This is my daughter Sarah. She works in IT, tech stuff." Major Patterson, this guy with a handlebar mustache, literally laughs. "It? Well, someone's got to reset the passwords, right?" Everyone chuckles. Dad smiles. Doesn't correct him. I just nod. "Yeah, something like that." We move to a conference room. About 25 people now. Mix of retired and active duty. They're swapping stories, classified locations, operations, talking about the good old days like it's a competition. Remember Operation Desert Falcon? Dude, I was on the real classified stuff. Can't even say the name. Typical military one-upmanship. And my dad, he's loving it. Center of attention, telling stories. Then he gets to one I've never heard. Dad starts telling this story about 2003, Iraq. So we get this targeting package, high-value target, supposed to be a terrorist safe house. We light it up. Mission successful. Or so we thought. He pauses, gets this look. Turns out, intelligence was bad. Wasn't a safe house. It was a meeting of local tribal leaders, allies. We killed 11 people who were on our side. The room goes quiet. It almost became an international incident, got buried in classified paperwork, changed the whole intelligence verification protocol for airstrikes after that. Someone asks, "Did anyone get blamed?" Dad shakes his head. Intel failure. The analysts who provided the bad information, they got reassigned. That's all I know. And I'm sitting there, frozen, because I know this story. I know it because I've read the classified after-action report. I know it because the project I work on, the AI-assisted intelligence verification system, was created because of this exact failure. I know it because I've seen my father's name in those files, and I know something he doesn't know. The bad intelligence that day? It wasn't an analyst error. It was a cyber attack. Foreign actors had compromised the targeting database, fed false information, and we didn't discover it until 2019, 16 years later. By then, I was already working on the countermeasures, so everyone's quiet after Dad's story. Then Patterson tries to lighten the mood. Well, that's ancient history. We've got way better intel now. Sarah, you probably work with some of that tech stuff, right? The computer systems? I just smile. A little bit. Must be nice. Civilian job, good hours, no deployments. Dad adds, Sarah's never had to deal with real operational stress. It's a different world. And something in me just cracks. Not breaks, cracks. Actually, Dad, I deploy pretty regularly. He laughs. Deploy? Honey, business trips aren't deployments. No, I mean actual deployments. Undisclosed locations, 6-month rotations. The room gets interested now. Major Patterson. Wait, what company do you work for? I can't say. Come on. Lockheed? Raytheon? I really can't say. Dad's getting annoyed. Sarah, don't be dramatic. Just tell them. I work for the Department of Defense. Direct employment. I can't disclose the specific command. Now people are confused. Lieutenant Colonel Chen, this sharp-eyed woman across the table, leans forward. DOD civilian? What's your clearance? And this is it. This is the moment. TS/SCI. Full scope polygraph. SAP access. You need to understand what just happened. In that room, most people had secret clearance. A few had top secret, maybe 2 had SCI access. Nobody had SAP, special access programs. SAP is the level above classified. It's the stuff that doesn't officially exist. Patterson looks confused. Okay, what does that even mean? Chen cuts him off. It means she has access to compartmented information that we don't even know exists. Dad's face is red. Sarah, this is not funny. You can't just claim... I'm not claiming anything. I'm stating a fact. Then prove it. Dad, I literally can't. That's what classified means. I can verify through proper channels, but I can't just show you my clearance badge like it's a gym membership. Major Patterson laughs nervously. Okay, but seriously, what do you actually do? Like, network security? Before I can answer, the door opens. Base commander walks in. Colonel Reeves, active duty, runs the entire installation. Everyone shoots to their feet, salutes. He waves them down. As you were. Just checking in. Making sure the reunion's going. Then he sees me. His face changes. Ms. Hayes? Everyone's staring. Yes, sir. I wasn't informed you'd be on base today. Are you here on assignment? My dad's face is pure confusion. No, sir, just visiting family. Colonel Reeves nods slowly. Understood. Do you need access to any SCIFs or secure facilities? No, sir, but thank you. If that changes, contact my office directly. We'll expedite. He shakes my hand, lingers for a second, then leaves. The room is dead silent for a good 5 seconds. Then everyone starts talking at once. Patterson. What the hell was that? Chen. Sir, that was the base commander offering her access to secure facilities. Dad. That doesn't make any sense. Chen turns to him. Colonel Hayes, sir. When's the last time Commander Reeves personally offered you SCIF access? Dad doesn't answer. Because he can't. Because even when he was active duty, base commanders didn't personally offer him anything. Dad stands up. Sarah, hallway, now. We step outside, and he explodes. What kind of game are you playing? Dad, I'm not... Did you lie to a base commander? Do you understand how serious that is? This is a federal installation. You could be arrested. I didn't lie. Then what the hell is going on? And I just lose it. 5 years of this. 5 years. You want to know what's going on? Fine. I'll tell you what I can. I work for U.S. Cyber Command. I've worked there since I was 23. I have one of the highest clearance levels in the Department of Defense. I run operations you will never hear about. I've deployed to locations that don't exist on any map, and I've been doing this for 5 years while you introduced me as your disappointment who fixes computers. He stares at me. That's impossible. You're 28, you can't just... I was recruited out of college, Dad. They approached me, not the other way around. For what? What could you possibly... Cyber warfare, offensive operations, the stuff that prevents wars before they start. He's shaking his head. No, I would have known. Someone would have told me. Why would they? I'm not your asset. I don't work for you. I don't report to you. I'm your father. And I have a security clearance that doesn't care. He looks at me like he's never seen me before. You're lying. You have to be. And that's when I realize he needs me to be lying. Because if I'm not, then everything he thought about me is wrong. Then his failure daughter is doing more classified work than he ever did. Then I'm not the disappointment. He is. For never seeing me. I turn to walk away. His phone rings. He answers. Colonel Hayes? I'm walking away, but I can hear his tone change. Yes, this is... He... Retired, yes. Long pause. I stop, turn around. His face has gone completely pale. I understand. Yes, she's here. She's... Yes, sir. I understand. No, she's fine. Yes, sir. He hangs up, stares at his phone, doesn't look at me for like 15 seconds. Then, that was Lieutenant General Marks. Okay? From Cybercom, your command. He wanted to confirm you were safely visiting family and not operating under duress. I don't say anything. Sarah, a 3-star general just called me to check on you. They do routine security checks when we're near military installations. It's protocol. Protocol. Right, because that's normal. We walk back to the conference room. Everyone goes quiet when we enter. You can tell they were just talking about us. Dad sits down, doesn't look at anyone. Patterson tries again. So, Sarah, can you at least tell us what command you work for? Chen cuts him off. Patterson, stop. What? I'm just asking. You don't ask people with SAP access what they do. We had this training, remember? Oh, come on, we're all cleared here. Lieutenant Colonel Morrison, older guy, quiet until now, speaks up. Patterson, I'm going to explain this once. Special access programs are need to know. We don't have the need. She couldn't tell us even if she wanted to. And the fact that a 3-star just called to check on her means she's working on something significant enough that they track her location in real time. She probably has access to intelligence that hasn't reached Pentagon briefings yet. Dead silence. Then Morrison looks at my dad. Colonel Hayes, sir. Your daughter is doing work that most of us in this room will never even hear about. My dad is just staring at his hands. And then I make a decision. Maybe it's stupid. Maybe it violates protocol. But I need him to understand. Dad, that story you told earlier, about 2003, the bad intelligence. He looks up. What about it? The project I work on, the system I help run, it was created because of that incident. His face changes. What? The after-action review of that strike led to a complete overhaul of how we verify targeting intelligence. They built an AI-assisted system to cross-reference multiple intelligence sources and detect anomalies. How do you know about that? That was classified. It's still classified, but I have access. I've read the full report. The analyst error that everyone blamed? It wasn't an error. It was a cyber attack. Foreign actors had penetrated the targeting database. They fed false coordinates, made it look legitimate. The room is dead silent now. Everyone's listening. We didn't discover the breach until 2019, 16 years after the incident. By then, I was already on the team building the countermeasures. Dad's face is white. That's classified. How do you... Because it's my job, Dad. This is what I do. Those 11 people who died, the tribal leaders, that incident changed everything. It changed protocols, it changed systems, it changed how we verify intelligence. And you work on that? I run part of it. Major Patterson asks, wait, so you're saying you're preventing what happened to Colonel Hayes from happening to other pilots? To everyone. Pilots, ground forces, operatives. If your life depends on intelligence being accurate, my system checks it. Chen is staring at me. How long has this system been operational? I can't answer that. How many lives has it saved? I can't answer that either. But it has saved lives? Yes. Morrison asks the question everyone's thinking. Ms. Hayes, and I apologize if this is out of line, but how does someone who's 28 years old end up running a system like that? Before I can answer, Chen says, she was recruited, probably in college. They identified her early. She looks at me. Am I right? I nod. What were you? Top of your class? Published research? I won a cybersecurity competition, national level, when I was 21. And someone noticed. A lot of someone's noticed. 3 different agencies tried to recruit me. I chose DOD because, honestly, because of my dad. Everyone looks at him. He's frozen. I wanted to serve. I just couldn't do it his way. I can't fly. I can't shoot. I'm terrified of helicopters. A few people laugh. But I can code. I can find patterns. I can think like the enemy. And I thought, maybe that was enough. Maybe that was my way of serving. But you never saw it as service. You saw it as me quitting. Dad's eyes are red. He doesn't say anything. Patterson breaks the tension. Okay, but seriously, is there anything you can tell us about what you actually do day to day? I think about it. Okay, I'll tell you this much. It's unclassified because it's vague enough. Everyone leans in. I work in threat detection and response, cyber threats against critical military infrastructure. When someone tries to hack our systems, or worse, when they succeed, I'm one of the people who finds them and stops them. Like foreign governments? Among others. Have you ever caught someone actively attacking? I can't answer that with a number, but I can say that I don't sleep much. Morrison laughs. That's the most military answer I've heard all day. And that's when something shifts in the room. Because they get it now. I'm not just some civilian with a badge. I'm doing the work. Different uniform, different battlefield, but same war. The reunion starts winding down. People come up to me, shake my hand, thank me for my service. It's surreal. One guy, a captain, maybe 30 years old, pulls me aside. Ms. Hayes, I don't know what you're working on, but my brother flies drones, remote operations. He's told me about systems that verify targets before strikes. Is that you? I can't confirm or deny any specific system. Right. If it is you, thank you. Because he comes home to his kids. Because the intelligence is better now. So, yeah, thank you. He walks away, and I realize this is what I wanted. Not recognition, just acknowledgement that what I do matters. He's standing by the door, waiting for me. We walk to the parking lot in silence. He drives. I ride passenger. 10 minutes, no words. Finally, Sarah. Yeah? I'm sorry. Just that. 2 words. But they sound like they hurt coming out. I know, Dad. No, you don't. I'm sorry for not seeing you. For not listening. For making you feel like you had to prove yourself. When I was active, I thought I knew what service looked like. I thought it had to be my way. The only way. He's gripping the steering wheel hard. But what you're doing, I didn't even know that existed. I didn't know that was possible. It's okay. It's not okay, Sarah. You've been serving for 5 years and I called it computer stuff. You've been deployed and I thought you were taking business trips. His voice cracks. You're doing work that keeps pilots like me from killing innocent people, and I called you a disappointment. I don't say anything, because what is there to say? We pull up to my hotel. I'm about to get out when he says, "That story I told, about the bad intelligence in 2003? Yeah, I have nightmares about it. Still, 20 years later. I see their faces, the people we killed. I wake up sometimes and I can't breathe." He looks at me, really looks at me. "And you're telling me you're making sure that never happens again?" "We're trying, Dad." He nods slowly. Then he does something he hasn't done since I was a kid. He hugs me. In the parking lot of a Hampton Inn in Las Vegas. My 62-year-old father hugs me and says, "I'm proud of you." I fly home the next day, back to work, back to my normal life. 2 weeks pass. Then I get a call from an unknown number. I don't usually answer those, but something tells me to pick up. "Hello? Sarah? It's Lieutenant Colonel Chen from your dad's reunion." "Oh, hi. How did you get this number?" She laughs. "I'm military intelligence. I have my ways. What can I do for you?" "Actually, I'm calling because of something your dad did." "What did he do?" "He called the Air Force Personnel Center. Then he called the Pentagon. Then he called every contact he still has in the military." "Why?" "He's trying to get you a medal." "I'm sorry, what?" "Yeah, he's been pushing for you to receive a Meritorious Civilian Service Award. He wrote a letter. Well, he tried to write a letter. Most of it got redacted because he doesn't have clearance for what you actually do." I'm speechless. But here's the thing. His letter landed on the right desk. And apparently, you were already being considered for an award. Your command has been trying to get you recognized for 2 years, but you keep declining. I don't do this for awards." "I know. Your father's letter said the same thing. He said, 'My daughter serves because it matters, not because anyone's watching.'" "He wrote that?" "He did. And because of his letter, they're pushing it through anyway. You're getting the award whether you want it or not." I don't know what to say. "Sarah, I don't know what you did to deserve it. I probably never will. But whatever it is, your dad knows now, and he's making sure everyone else knows too." We hang up, and I just sit there for like 20 minutes. Then my phone buzzes. Text from Dad. "Proud of you, kiddo. Always have been. Just took me too long to say it." 3 months later, I get the award. Small ceremony. Very quiet. Most of it classified. But my dad is there, in his dress uniform. Every medal he ever earned, standing in the back. When they call my name, he salutes. A retired colonel saluting his civilian daughter, and I salute back. We have dinner that night. Just us. He asks about my work. I say, "Can't talk about it." He laughs. "That's my girl." Then he says something I'll never forget. "You know what I realized? I spent 26 years in the Air Force thinking I was protecting my country. And I was. But you're protecting the future. You're making sure the next generation doesn't make my mistakes. That's not disappointment, Sarah. That's evolution." And that's when I knew. We were okay. Different. But okay. So here's what I need from you right now. If you think my dad was wrong for how he treated me, type "wrong" in the comments. If you think I should have told him sooner, type "tell him." If you think more parents need to hear this story, type "share this." And if you want me to tell the story about the time I had to brief a senator who didn't believe I was the actual analyst and tried to have me removed from the room, type Part 2. But here's the real question. At what timestamp did you realize what I actually did for a living? Drop the exact minute and second in the comments, like 7:23 or 12:45. I'm reading every single one, and I'm going to make a follow-up video breaking down the most common timestamps. And if you've ever felt invisible to your own family, type invisible. Because you're not alone. I see you. Thanks for listening to my story. And to anyone out there serving in ways people don't understand, your work matters, even if no one knows what you do, especially if no one knows. Now go flood those comments.